We're going to try something a little bit different today. We're going to put this in a debate format. We have three questions for you regarding this particular subject. And we're going to divide you, Jesse, with his help, he's going to divide you into two breakout rooms, so two teams. One will be the affirmative, the statement that you see, you're going to argue for. And the second team is going to support the negative. Like, why don't you believe that? And what might be an alternative to what we've proposed or the question that you see in front of you. The debate questions, Jesse is going to cut and paste those into the chat function so that when you get into your breakout room, you will have them available to you.
So let's go ahead and debrief. So first question, do companies have a responsibility to encourage HR staff to update their skills and knowledge in support of their digital strategy? So group one.
Yeah, we absolutely agree that this is an essential skill set. We absolutely agree that it was an essential skill for business going forward. And if HR wants to remain at the table, they absolutely need to be at least on par, if not ahead of the group on this skill set, and that it is critical and it should be partially the employer's responsibility to help people get there.
So group two, you were in the negative. You were opposed to this.
So we said no, and we acknowledged that some of us, this isn't our natural state, but we said, no, you're responsible for your own development and advancement. If you expect someone else to drive that for you, you're going to be disappointed. It's about empowerment. Be your own chief learning officer. In some ways, this is like a little risky on the part of the corporation because of transferable skills. You can go anywhere, but we're willing to develop people in a different way.
Let's go to the next question.
When we answer the question, do HR practitioners possess? The answer is, I think there's a wide variety of skills that's out there, and we need to figure out, does the HR community as a entire community take a stance on what we need to build benchmarks, right? And how we need to make sure that HR is skilled and or gets the skills they need to help the business move forward.
Group two, what were your discussions about?
So our discussion included a few different points around our negative position. So the first was that there's a lot of investment that goes into attaining and maintaining those skill sets, which is often a major barrier for people in exploring and taking their time to pursue. Also, the individual themselves are best suited to choose for themselves what skills to invest in, which I think echoes a sentiment that someone else had just raised. Another point that was raised was around pushback around technology for those people who are veterans in the space and may be reluctant to explore new kinds of tech and more at ease with continuing to do things their own way.
So let's wrap up with the last question. So group one.
So what we said is it depends from company to company, and it also within the department, right? So each department may operate differently, but what we said is it is an essential skill set. It's required as we move forward. But I think it really depends upon, what's the culture in the company, how managers kind of view that.
Group two, what did you come up with?
So we said they're responsible for doing it on their own time. That is part and parcel with owning your own development, not being beholden to any single organization. As a result, the company shouldn't be required to pay for your development, especially when considering that companies have various employment types. So, could be W-2, 1099, lots of freelance work. Again, organizations shouldn't be beholden to having to pay for that development, especially if they aren't W-2 full-time employees.